the collective responsibility, husband and wife, to do so. Even family members, grandparents, uncles, aunties. So, for instance, in my home, my sister lives with me, and discipline. So, if my daughter is trying to be funny, act up with me, my sister is like, no, you don't do that to your mom. You don't. That's rude. So they say it takes a village to raise a child. That is very, very true. Now, still on the Guardian newspaper, another headline that caught my eye, which is something that I said, oh, let's talk about this. Again, like I said, it's a sort of like a mashup, is that there was a global child summit in Lagos. And I was first of all happy that it was, because typically you see summits about girls, about women. But I was so happy to see that there was a global boys summit. And in the summit, stakeholders over there linked the rising cases of cybercrime, gambling, cultism, and all the works to the growing neglect of young boys within families, within schools, and in public policy. So there's so much emphasis on the girl child, training up a girl child to maybe in terms of taking care of the home, cooking for the home, because you're prepping her for her husband's house, right? But there's little to no conversation on training the boy child. And today being Children's Day, I said, we're going to do something different and talk about this as children. And I particularly like that emphasis is being placed on training young men. They said, as I said, if we pay attention to boys, it will change the dynamics of society. When we come on here, we talk about gender-based violence, rape, sexual assault, and all the works. Somebody is perpetrating that crime, and that's the male gender. So the onus is on us as society, as parents, teachers, community members, community leaders, to train the boy child alongside the way that you are training the girl child. But I want to hear what Buki has to say about this. Two different headlines that I have read this morning, that children need to be trained better. And most especially, we need to now start focusing on the male child in terms of raising well-grounded children in society. Yes, Buki, over to you.
All right. Yes, I guess it was the internet. I also wanted to greet a Muslim community, a Muslim family. They're doing their El Kabi, which is Salah. It just was it not 2 days ago? I just cited, yes, I actually went out last week and I saw, where they sell the ram on my own way. I said, oh, yes, Salah is coming, so we're going to chop meat. And then, of course, 2 days ago, this one is even outside of good to his cow that I saw tied down. So tied down for Salah. So we want to wish them happy festival today and tomorrow. Yes, so back to the issue we're discussing today, children. I want to sound a note of warning. I read the headline calling for children to be disciplined. National Orientation Agency urges children to embrace patriotism, discipline on Children's Day. And what caught my attention was children come with innocent mind. They come with more like a clean vessel, more like an empty vessel. It is what you now pour into them that matters. So if you are urging them, that means there are contents that can make them to be urged. But if there is no content in it, nothing will happen. So I will still take it back to the parents. And you mentioned it, though, at a point, he also mentioned it, that it is the duty, of parents, guardians, teachers, where he was talking about, he underscores the collective responsibility of government, parents, teachers, religious institutions, and society in raising responsible citizens. That is where we should actually start from. How are we raising the children? How are we raising them?
Mm-hmm.
Do we even have more like, even if it's not a structured curriculum, you understand that For every child that we say is a Nigerian child, by the time you are bringing them into the society, by the time they are 18, what are the things you want to see in them? Then these things that you want to see in them, how do you ensure that between the age 0 to 18, they get it? That is family, the religious spheres, education, media, and social, because we have to put it in there now. What are we exposing our children to? This is not, I don't give them tab, I don't give them phone until they're in secondary school. It is beyond that.
Mm.
It is beyond that. What is the content that somebody is even feeding them? They are going on the streets, they are looking at these things. They bring it, the people who are wealthy, they bring it around them in church and things like that. So the person who is feeding the content also matters. So it's a total sanity that we are calling for today, that we are focusing on the children. The children that we are raising now, let's go back. How did we raise them 15 years ago, 10 years ago? You'll be able to trace that somewhere along the line, parents slept on duty. A larger percentage of them slept on duty. They were not there for the kids. They were not there for the children. Either the mama don't go out, the papa too don't go out, and that's why, we now are now saying that what time are we devoting for the children? It is no longer an issue of let the woman stay at home. Now, because we see the issue, both, because you brought them, there's an aspect of the father's discipline, there's an aspect of the mother's discipline. They need to have both. They need to have both. That is the way God has designed that system. So when you truncate it, this is the effect of it. When the father believes that the mother is in, the mother will do everything, the eye of the mother will not do everything. No. And that is where I'm now linking it to, now that the focus is who is raising the boys, because we're now seeing boys and men behaving like animals. No leadership capability in them. And I'll come to explain what I mean by that. They are not disciplined. Was it not 2 days ago? Or yes, when we talked about a boy of 25 beheading, it was beheaded.
His father. No, not beheading, killing his father.
No, the 25 and the 35 that they beheaded a girl.
The young girl the nurse, yes.
Why? Because the girl refused to have sex with him. And they decided to rape. Who brought that woman being into the world? Which community raised him? Which religious organization did he pass through? What was he watching? The content that we are showing to them. The education. So that means the education did not do anything. Like they always say in university, that don't just pass through university, let the university pass through you. So did education pass through him? Did he know his rights? Did he know his responsibilities? Yes, someone might say, we are teaching them. No, but it's an issue of, are they getting it? Are they understanding it? Every day we talk, we recite the pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country. Do people even understand what they are saying? Because if you are to raise the next generation, there is a whole lot of work to be done. A whole lot of work. I love the fact that, yes, attention now is on the boy child. But for me, the attention had always been on the boys. Probably it is underreported. And that was why there was so much buzz around the girl because then we're coming from a place where people still feel it's getting better now, but a whole lot of people say even after all your education, even when you become a doctor, everything you do what you land in the kitchen. You know, the way they say it is like you dump your education and then you become a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the trend. And it was like, no, you can be more than that. You can be more than that. You can be a wife, you can be a mother, and you can still make it in your career. And that was why there was so much emphasis. People believe that the men were not taken care of. I mean,
Mm.
well, maybe in my own circle, I know a whole lot of people that are doing things, NGO for boys and things like that. They bring the boys together, they whatever. But it's good that it's been on the focus now, that people are now coming up, and letting people know what they do. At least now that this NGO now, they brought about 1,000 boys, you can imagine if
Mm-hmm.
they begin to change the mindset of these boys. Before you know what is happening, these boys will also influence their friends, and the society will be saner. As we celebrate Children's Day today, yes, the focus is on children. We will take them to parks. We'll take them to our Ariku Fun Fair. You understand? Take them anywhere. Take them anywhere. Just let them enjoy, themselves today. But before we all go to bed, let us now reflect. How am I raising them? What am I putting into these people that the society will remember my name for good? What time am I dedicating to them to ensure it's not just to hear the values, but to live the values? And then, am I a model for them to follow or a mistake to avoid? These are the questions each and every one of us will have to answer before we go to bed tonight. Am I a model for these children to follow or a mistake for them to avoid? If these things become our intentional guide, both for girls, both for boys, we should see them as Nigerians, see them as citizens. They have duties, they have responsibilities. Everything is enshrined in the Constitution. And then I'm also coming to the government. And when I say the government, it's not just about Mr. President. I'm also talking to the governors. I'm also talking to the local government. I'm also talking to everyone that holds the power. Today, we are talking about children. We still have our children held in captivity. And it is every day. It's just that some do not get reported. Some do not get reported. These things happen every day. And even now, it's closer to Lagos. It's Ogbomoso. We still have children that they are yet to be released. So, what are we doing? So, in as much as we are talking also to the parents, we also need to engage the government because these children have rights: right to life, right to education, right to security. Are we giving them? I looked at one of the schools. I looked at one of the schools that they went to kidnap some of the children. And I still saw the things that we discuss. The windows
Mm-hmm.
not secured. I'm not sure if you noticed it. It's open window.
Mm-hmm.
In this day and age, they're still using black and white and blackboard. And I could even see the furnitures You could tell that, in fact, some of them probably stand to get their teachings,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't see adequate tables and chairs in there. So what is the security that we are giving them? And on the blackboard, look at the irony. At least it was reported, I saw the blackboard. I wouldn't expect that the people who took the picture did that.
Mm-hmm.
They were teaching them democracy.
Mm.
They had the national anthem there.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria was building.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we also giving these children? And their minds are impressionable. So that means Nigeria does not care for them. So if Nigeria does not care for them, when they grow up, what do you think they will become?
Mm.
We all have our part to play as we celebrate them today. It's not just about the ice cream or whatever it is. Yes, they need to be celebrated today. It's their day, because they need to know that the nation cares for them, their welfare, their rights, their developmental needs, their education and their protection. But after all this, can we sit back to say, what have I done? What have I contributed? If I am the person who is to take care of the protection of these children, what have I done? Have I
Mm.
done the needful? And as a parent, as a mentor, as a guardian, as a teacher, what have you done? Don't just say, no concern me.
Mm.
It concerns you. Because these children, if you do not take care of them, they will become like the 25-year-old, the 30-year-old person who did what? Took drugs and did what? Decided to behead somebody because you do not want the person to sell you out. But in the first instance, if we have put in leadership qualities in them, particularly for the boys, because I'd mentioned that I'm going to talk about that. What the boys, even for the girls, for me, all both gender, they need leadership. And when I'm talking about leadership, I'm not talking about you being the boss or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Skills, critical thinking, decision making, emotional intelligence, time management. All these things are what we are talking about, so that you are raising them to become leaders, even while they are still young. Because these are the things that will make them become responsible citizens when they move out of the cadre of 17 and they become 18 and they become responsible citizens, that
Mm.
they can even vote. So parents, guardian, leaders, and teachers, whatever it is, as long as children are there beside you and you are molding their lives, we have this duty to raise them up properly. And for parents, this is not an issue of ọmọ tó bá da ti bàbá ẹ̀ ni, ọmọ tí ò bá da ti ìyá ẹ̀ ni. It does not hold. It's as far as I'm concerned, I think it's sheer wickedness.
Mm.
I think it's sheer irresponsibility,
Mm.
on the part of the people who even brought this thing out. They're still saying it. Let's look at it. Both of you are to raise the children. The man is to set the direction. So when you fail in your duty, you now expect the woman to step in. Thank God for all the women that have stepped in, where the men they're just on their own, but the women have stepped in that, oh, ni ba orúkọ mi jẹ́.
Mm-hmm.
And we celebrate such women today. But can we begin to do the needful? And all these walk away fathers,
Mm.
that you just believe you have to sow your oats everywhere, sleep with all the women. You understand? Concern you. When they come and say they are pregnant, they say that is your problem.
Mm.
No, you are not doing the right thing. You are irresponsible. I mean, I would call a spade a spade. You brought the seed, and you must ensure that that person is raised as a responsible citizen. It is well with us. Once again, we want to celebrate all the children. We pray for them that great shall be their peace. And we use this opportunity to pray for every child that is in captivity. My heart bleeds for even the 2-year-old that was
Mm-hmm.
captured. I think that is the youngest we have recorded
Mm-hmm.
in the history of Nigeria. My heart goes to every single one of them, wherever they are, that the Lord God that we pray to would bring about intervention, and every single child, as long as they are alive, will be brought home and their parents will rejoice.
Mm.
And the government now, they're celebrating, oh, some of them are Muslims, they're doing salah, they're eating ram, and then those that are not, they're celebrating with them. Hey, as we are there chopping the yam, let us also remember the children that are in
Mm.
captivity, and let's do the things that we need to do to bring them. And it's not just to say we are working on it or we are doing something. Let there be action. And then, secondly, what are we doing again? Because we keep saying this thing in WFM. What are we also doing again to ensure that these things do not happen again? Let us not believe, what is no. Can we begin to guide things again? Can we begin to build up our security structures again? Talking about this Ogbomoso, the forest and everything, are we combing everything? The communities, the remote centers, the remote schools, right? Because we need to begin to look at those remote schools, because they don't have fence. The children are very vulnerable. What are we doing? And before you know what is happening now, people will no longer go to school anymore. We're now traumatizing the children. You can imagine what is happening now. Some children have heard about this news and they'll be telling their parents when they want to go to school, that mommy, are you sure I'm safe? Are you sure I'm safe? Fear has entered into the community. And this is what we've been saying since we started hearing about them kidnapping children in school.
Mm.
It is well.
Mm. This is the Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And you are on the Daily News Review program. You just finished listening to the voice of our analyst this morning, Buki Femi Ajala. And we've been speaking about children in honor of Children's Day, the part of the country, the nation, the part of guardians, the part of teachers, parents, even the part of you yourself as an individual in raising better children in the society, especially with the fact that you just go, you're walking on the road. Sometimes you see kids on the road and you're just like, why are you behaving in that manner? Did they not train you? Those kinds of things come pop in your mind. But we're saying that, look, this is a collective responsibility and all hands have to be on deck. We have to join hands together to be able to raise better children who will grow to be citizens in this society. The phone lines are now open: 07000 or 0800 Those are the numbers to call. Or you can text us on 0703 1756537 or 08155 917 917. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website www.wfm917.com. I also want you to call me to tell me your favorite. I think I'll start with asking Buki FA her favorite childhood memory as well. Sometimes when we have all these kinds of celebrations, I think life has just gotten so maybe difficult for Nigerians that they don't even want to think about anything. But before we go ahead, we have a caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Uh-oh. Please do well to call us back. 07000 or 08915 We have this message. The thing about going into a primary election with Atiku Abubakar in any party is that he will surely win. Buhari was the only politician who ever defeated him. Amechi and Hayajutin are crying for nothing. Atiku defeated all of them in their own backyard. It is an internal sabotage that will fail, says Olushaka Ajayi from Odonla Ikorodu. Before we go on, okay, we have the call still. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Evangelist Dixon. Yeah,
Clearly.
yes, I can hear you clearly.
Good morning, every listener. Good morning, Madam Kume, Madam Buki. I don't know how to say thank you to you. This one, I will say I support you 150 to 200%. It spoke my mind. Madam, I rate you as the best analyst in the whole world. God will bless you. Give you more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding.
Amen.
But what you have said about children, I don't think you repeat all that, but let me also today children, but let me also congratulate our Muslim brothers and sisters. But today to those who are celebrating commemmoration of our father Abraham, when God provided for him to obtain Isaac with a ram, saying that God is the God of provision. As they kill the ram, it's not for atonement of anything. It's just they need to share with those who had nothing, the less privileged. And also, I always tell them that when God created, there was nothing like Muslim Christian people, but we all lack understanding. That's it. If you truly understand, actually, this is the one Muslim Christian Igbo Yoruba should be fighting because you lack knowledge. Aspiration to something like this. Quran chapter 5 verse 5 say the same gospel that given to the Muslim, given to the Christian. It's only one God that Muslims should marry Christian, but should not marry unbeliever. And Quran chapter 19 verse 92 that Jesus Christ, if I is a gift from God, gift from us, as is John 3:15, for God so loved you. Whosoever does not repent and receive the respect, how receive forgiveness cannot see God. And after we receive Christ, we are one. That's what brings us together. Colossians chapter 3, read from verse 1 to the end. We don't start with our Muslim Christian, Igbo, about just our brothers and sisters. We love one another and serve from God. Jesus is what brings us together. And that's why Quran, you say Quran to the Bible. Quran chapter 10, verse 10. See the fact that anything you don't understand that Quran, go to the Bible. That whosoever does not believe the word of the Bible is unbeliever. So it's because you lack and you don't study. And that's how we congratulate a Muslim brother and all of them that are here, congratulate them. One day we go back to our God and give account. As I say about parents, Brother Buki, you have said it all. Even that God gave you, God is not parents responsible. Them empty, just like empty this computer you bought the disk inside. What you record in this what play off. What these children see. That's why be careful what. There was a time my own children, my son, my last born, I'm going to grow up and be a very somebody that is, that you cannot challenge, you cannot tell him anything, it doesn't take nonsense. And I think come down like that, I arrested him 2 times and taken him to police station. Thank God today it changed. But I said it 3 times. I told him to police. I didn't listen to me after I'm speaking. Is that listening to what I'm saying? Yes. Do you know this same boy? Yes. All of them went to public school. This same boy is an engineer. 2 of the 2 boys, 2 of them engineer. Oh, the girl is a chartered accountant. And I thank God for this. I don't take nonsense. I wish my regulation in my house. I think this boy now I changed totally. You see him now. And me now, as a father, as a grandfather, I'm now at home. I'm not working. They pay me salary. Of course, I don't work. That's why I do have time to call every day. Because I play my role. Parents, mother have a role to do, father have it. If you play a role, Bible is complete. Everything is there. But because we don't study. I'm telling you, Madam Buki, I don't need to do. You have said it all. Anybody that was not listening to you this morning, miss a lot. Miss a lot. I think you pass from this is Buki. Because you have said it all. And I thank God we should continue.
when he's old, he will not depart from it. Yes, we understand that at times no, that is not in our values here. We don't steal here. We don't lie here. We are hardworking people. We work for our money. We don't do gambling. We don't, you begin to guide them. And the most important thing is that you are raising them to continue your name. You are raising them to become responsible citizens, whereby when they mention their name, at least you are proud.
Yeah.
You can imagine the 25 and the 31 that beheaded a child. Their names were that bagada bagada. So even the people that do not even know the parents in the community, they now know the parents. That it is that okay, yeah, and that man is very gentle. Oh, look at the child he raised. We understand. So please let's look at all the consequences of what we are doing and let's take deliberate action. The Lord will help us. It's a lot of work to parent a child. It's a whole lot of work, but the Lord has given us grace. And my own, don't say I talk too much. If If you feel you are responsible to engage in the act, then be responsible to take care of the consequence of the act.
Mm. Well said, well said. Thank you so much for that, Vicky. Yeah, I wanted to ask, did you want to react to this text message that came about article winning winning in the ADC primaries? I mean, the primaries have been making me laugh a lot, but is that something looking
It
at
is,
yeah.
right now, until all the parties. I think the deadline is end of this May. That everybody has to bring out their flag bearers and things. So you still keep on seeing drama. Well, for Atiku, what do you expect? I was looking at him when he was holding his was his card or whatever he was holding. I said,
Mhm.
what is wrong? What I want to understand what is in their mind. You know, I know Buhari also came, and all that, but for me is that what is always in their mind? Why is it that they want this power?
Mm.
I might be wrong, but I think that at some point, for those who have led and they've seen it or whatever it is, I think they need to begin to mentor people,
Mhm.
mentor people, back them up and ensure that they don't go the wrong way they also went. That's my own. I mean, what 80-year-old, whatever it is, what are you still doing in power? You understand? I know some make it. That is when they have good team. There, but I'm just looking at Nigeria. Because we need to bring it home. Looking at Nigerian at that age, what else? Do you even have the stamina?
Yeah.
You understand? Let's even talk about that. Do you even have the stamina, the recall? Because they walk. Even when we are sleeping, they are walking. They are doing meetings. They are doing strategic meetings. They are looking at this report. Do we even have the stamina? Right? And then the brain capacity. And then it is because you are not up alert like a 50, 60-year-old person. You tend to have a team, but if you're not looking at what they are doing, hey, that's one of the things that affected Buhari.
Mm.
They can decide to do any other thing. Your body is tired, your body is tired. At that age, what does God expect? You understand? To mentor the next coming whatever. But I mean, he has picked it up, like the caller said, or the message said, anywhere he goes, he must get the ticket now. He must get the ticket. He has the means.
He has
Maybe
the
to
means.
bankroll. You understand? It's
That's
to
really where it
bankroll.
is.
You understand? Everybody, I mean, elections is, let's forget the fact that they give people money or whatever it is. Election itself, the cost of electioneering is high.
Mm-hmm.
They have to travel, they have to campaign, they have to print this, they have to do this, and where they are going, the welfare, logistics. So it's a whole lot of money that is there, and every party will always want to do what is right. Now, when I say what is right, they have to print, they have to do banner, they have to do t-shirts, they have to do souvenir, they have to carry people, they have to go with a band, they have to do campaign, and it's a whole lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say, I want this thing, and they know you are going to bankroll it, that is the politics
Why
that
not
we are
if not?
playing here. That's the politics we are playing here. Not that, I do not have the means, but if you give me this ticket, I will do what is right.
Mm-hmm.
They will not listen to that. But we will get there very soon by God's grace.
Mm.
So
So,
it's okay. Let's see now. All of us are going to go and vote.
it's not by primaries, it's by the 2027 election. And on that note, I always say, please make sure that you have your PVC, make sure you validated everything that you need to do. Please make sure you have it done. Thank you so much, Buki Femi Ajala, for joining us on today's edition of the Daily News Review. Truly, today I really liked our conversation today, especially with regards children, because we cannot not talk about it, especially in honor of Children's Day and what parents, society is supposed to do. When you're on the road and you're seeing a child misbehave, like caution them, but with kindness and with,
Oh,
don't just shout
yes.
at somebody's child. Oh.
Yes, emotional intelligence. Yes,
Yes, be emotionally intelligent when you're doing that, or you
yes.
speak to the parent directly. But hopefully, God will give us the wisdom and the grace to be able to carry it out. And of course, like we said, like Buki even said, our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the kids that are still in abduction. I was reading something this morning and I was just getting sadder and sadder. I had to stop reading it, especially I when you see how old it's. Like every day you're like, you mean a 2-year-old is in abduction? You mean a 2-year-old is in abduction? How? People are talking about it more, and that's good. Let's keep talking about it. Let's keep adding our voices to it. I gave the president a side eye with his speech. I say, what kind of speech is this? Because there
Let's
was
not go there.
there's
It's not
not like
there.
a major side eye, and I thought we were gonna get because what do you
That's not
mean
the kind of speech you want to hear today.
today? Right. So I don't know. Is it a case of him being tone deaf? I don't. Okay. Let's we will rejoice with the children having Children's Day today. Again, remember that Women Radio is celebrating Children's Day with the kids here on the Women Radio ground. So come, bring your kids, bring your neighbors' kids, bring every one of them. Let's have fun together. On that note, once again, Buki Femi Ajola, thank you so much for coming on the program this morning.
Let's have a beautiful
Yes.
festive period.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
plenty meat because me I dey eye that
Me, I
cow.
want meat too.
Me I dey eye
Give me
that
meat.
cow.
Yes,
Happy
yes, yes.
Children's Day. All right then.
All righty, 9 o'clock.